darlings. I'm Brian, and you're watching The Brian Darling Show. I have such an amazing show tonight. My guest is just amazing. He is a filmmaker, and we're going to bring him on right now, Mr. PJ Raval. Hi there, PJ. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you're here on the Brian Darling Show. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now, so, PJ, you're a director.
I am.
And, well, you're a director sometimes, but I'm looking through your credits, and it says you've done a lot of cinematography. So explain to our Brian Darling Show viewers, what does a cinematographer do exactly?
Sure. I mean, I always say that a cinematographer is the person who is responsible for the visuals of a film. So anything that ends up on screen means it was captured on camera, you know, potentially lit by the cinematographer. So it's pretty much the visual storytelling aspect of filmmaking is, you know, of course under the director, but led by the cinematographer.
Well, now you're directing too, so I always get very excited when I'm around, especially directors, because I consider directors to be the storyteller. Mm-hmm. And it's so amazing to me. I mean, as a viewer, you know, I just get to go to the theater and enjoy the finished product. But when you dig into a little bit more, it's so fascinating to see how you bring your vision onto the screen. I'm a numbers guy. So I can handle the budget and everything else. If it's got a dollar sign in front of it, you're talking my language. But all these visuals and stuff, isn't Google Plus great?
Yeah.
We've got this great Google Plus Hangout going, and we stream on YouTube. So I guess Google Plus is doing my cinematography right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, how did you get into making films?
Yeah, you know, I wasn't a filmmaker. I mean, I'm not one of the filmmakers who kind of says that they always wanted to be a filmmaker and, you know, as long as they could remember, always, you know, made little home videos and stuff. I actually was not that at all. When I was in school, I studied art. And I kind of found film through that way. I mostly did media art, a lot of photography, and then kind of dabbled a little bit in filmmaking. And we're talking filmmaking in the, you know, old black and white 16 millimeter kind of filmmaking. And then a couple years later, thought it would be something fun to try. So I actually went to graduate school, went to film school. And then from there, to be quite honest, I never thought I would end up working in the film industry or be a filmmaker. It was more something that I just wanted to try for fun, just kind of, you know, part of the arts, media arts, and see where it kind of, you know, see where it would lead to. But now, to be quite honest, I really can't think of anything else that I would want to be doing. I mean, it was funny actually. Last night I was at a party and I met an architect, and I say that I like to joke, and I always say that as kind of my, you know, oh, what would you do if you couldn't be filmmaking? I say, oh, I'd be an architect. But really, I have no idea what an architect does. I just like the idea of it. It sounds creative. It sounds very functional, you know. And there's a lot of comparisons between, you know, filmmakers and architects in the sense of, like, you know, working with a team of people and, you know, and all these, the idea of light and space and, you know, all this kind of stuff. But really, I can't imagine doing anything else at this point.
Well, I want to talk about your latest, I think, soon-to-be masterpiece. Once this thing hits, I saw the trailer today and I watched it a few times, and you've actually won some film festival awards, haven't you?
Yeah. Recently, we've been fortunate enough to win some awards. Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about Before You Know It.
Sure. It's a feature documentary that really is a portrait of 3 gay seniors, and you know, we follow 3 different people in 3 different parts of the country, very, very different storylines, but all, you know, that common experience of being born and growing up in that same time period. But as much as the film is about age and getting older, it's actually not about history so much as actually about the present and kind of the current challenges that they face as seniors, and the adventures that they go on in terms of just living life. So.
And that's quite amazing because Hey, darlings, we're all getting older. We're all going to be seniors at some point.
Exactly.
I think the whole LGBT community across the globe is really starting to come out of the closet. I was just a young pup. I was only 14 years old in Milwaukee when I came out.
Wow.
Back in the dark ages. So I'm not really a young, I can't do the young professional counsel thing anymore, but I'm not really a senior either. So I'm sort of like I'm really right on the line. But I came out in 1979, so I consider myself, from the dark ages. And I think I saw a statistic that said what was it, 1.5 million, or how many millions of
4.5, yeah, about I think it's 4.5 million estimated.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I think it might be a little bit higher than that. I think a lot more people are.
And I think and the reason it's estimated is because those are people who actually identify publicly, right? And part of what my documentary shows is that, the idea of being out and visible is actually a big challenge for some of the seniors. A lot of them are afraid of discrimination and are subject to ageism. And actually, one of the subjects that I follow in the process of the film, you actually see him coming out now he's 80. So at the age of, I think it's actually 78 when he officially kind of comes out. So I think that, sometimes surprises some people in that there's, thinking that if you're a senior, that there's a lot of people who are probably out, when it's actually often not the case. There's a lot of still, seniors who need support.
Hey, just because we get old doesn't mean we go away.
True.
And I was talking to the CEO at the LA Gay and Lesbian Center, Lori Jean, just a couple weeks ago on one of my shows, and she has said that the seniors that are coming to the center now for services have tripled over the past couple of years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And actually, they're launching a capital campaign. They're going to be building a whole new campus with multi-generational housing, which I think is absolutely fascinating, because I'm not getting any younger, and I'm thinking, where am I going to go? I would love to find some nice LGBT home for the, old gay people, I guess. I'm not sure. I think there's a real market for that, and we can really learn a lot. Everybody can learn from people that are older than us. And as a gay community, a worldwide gay community, it's really, really heartwarming to see people like the people that you highlight in this film, because they really are just average, ordinary people. They blend in just like everybody else does, but we don't always blend in. So anything that will build that sense of community is just, it's so fascinating to me.
So I released the film, in film festivals back in March at the South by Southwest Film Festival. And since then, it's been playing at, a lot of really great film festivals like Outfest in Los Angeles. We even screened at the Lincoln Center. Edinburgh. We even screened in Russia, actually, which was pretty amazing. We screened in Russia in, I think, July. Yeah, so the film's definitely been doing its film festival screenings, but one of the things that I've always wanted to do with this film was bring it to a larger audience. Because one of the great things that I started seeing very early on when we started screening the film is a lot of younger people would watch it and be really surprised that they have a lot in common with the seniors that they're seeing on screen. And then it was great for them to look over and recognize that also in the audience there was a senior population. And I do think that there is something that's really great, that's community building about screening in a movie theater, in a public space, filled with people that you may or may not know, but this is your community at that moment.
And PJ, how can people find, I know I just signed up on your mailing list, how can people find you so they can find this film in their city?
Yeah, that's the best way right now, is to actually go to our website, which is beforeyouKnowItFilm.com. There's links to our Facebook, our Twitter site, all that kind of stuff, so you can be informed. And we're definitely going to be starting to put information out if you want to request a screening in your community. We'll be having that information up pretty soon, actually. So.
Oh, awesome! Well, I'm on the mailing list, so you'll definitely be hearing from me. So, darlings, I want you to go to PJ's website and take a look at this, and take a look at the trailer of this film. I think it'll really wet your whistle. I'll have all that posted at briandarling.com. And PJ, I just want to thank you again for stopping by. When you're in LA, give me a call.
Absolutely.
I'll take you down to the LA Gay and Lesbian Center, and we'll definitely get some good PR and promotion for you.
Oh, that'd be great. And it's been my pleasure being on the show, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, PJ.